All right, so Dynamite last night. What was the number on Dynamite?
800,000.
Yeah, they're going to have some.
Wow.
Yeah.
800,
well, no, bro. They have
800,000.
you got baseball play. They're going to have a little down swing here for a few weeks with the.
Well, that. And of course, the anti-AEW crowd is trumpeting
this
NXT.
Thought that since Edge was there, it might help the rating. But
okay, so NXT did a bigger number. Yeah, go ahead with the numbers.
857,000 for NXT on the 3rd, and then on the 4th yesterday, AEW did 800,000. So NXT had a higher number this week, and then they're going head to head next week, I guess, on Tuesday.
Right, and they're loading that show up with Cena and stuff and everything. You seen that, Konnan?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is smart. It's funny too. You know what Dave said? Dave
and
tweeted,
Cody too.
You know what Dave tweeted? Dave tweeted like, for anybody that thinks that AEW is not competition, sure looks stupid now. And I'm like,
what's he referring to?
They're not competition. They're just bro. They've been able to do this forever. Like all these people are signed to under the WWE contract. NXT's part of the WWE universe shows. They could have been putting these guys in these shows for the past few years, and it took Nick Khan to realize, like, why aren't we putting these guys on the shows if we're trying to draw numbers? So it's like, and they draw, and it shows, bro. The one thing that we engage by watching NXT is that if you are a Raw superstar, a SmackDown superstar, and one of the more prominent characters on the show, you are a draw right now because they're putting you on other shows, and the numbers are going up significantly when you're on the shows. So like Cody's a draw, Dom's a draw. Priest, like these guys are draws.
Mammy.
Yeah. So, all right. So I got issues. Of course, and I'm not being a hater. Okay. And I think Konnan might have the exact same issue that I do. All right. So, the pyro shoots off on AEW. Renee Paquette interviewed Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, noting that they were on the opposite sides 4 years ago, and Jericho mentioned his 33-year anniversary in pro wrestling just took place. He said that he and Omega are on the same side and facing members of the Don Callis family. Adam Copeland walked into the picture and said there should be maple syrup with all the Canadians on the set, and Copeland wished Jericho luck and said it's always good to see him. They shook hands, and Omega said it was good to meet Copeland and told him that he had him on the edge of his seat the other night. And Omega offered his hand, and Copeland accepted before telling him that they still don't like Don Callis. Okay? That was Edge's first appearance on the show after not being on, and this was very lame. Okay? Now, wait, when did I say? Hang on, I gotta look forward, go through this here. All right, so I got an issue. All right, when I'm watching, they showed some highlights of Edge. Okay, from the wrestle thing, whatever. And Nick Wayne was like beating on Sting and Darby, and I'm like, okay, and they kind of, bro, this isn't it. So when did Nick Wayne turn heel?
That happens a lot there.
I mean, shouldn't this have been in a pad, like, explain this? Because I'm watching, wait, what is, because I'm watching the video, and I'm watching Nick Wayne, it's like, okay, why is Nick Wayne beating on and like, he was in the heel faction now?
He turned heel at the Wrestle Dream show in the main event where he turned on Darby.
Well, and then Edge comes out, right?
People know that didn't see the pay-per-view.
I mean, or had the announcers explain what happened here so we can set the stage for, like, what's going on, because bro, they just presume that everybody watches all their shows.
Everybody watches everything they do.
Right.
Like, I'll give you an example. I usually watch all their pay-per-views, but I was in Mexico this week, so I didn't watch it. So I didn't even know that.
Right.
Well, it's like, why don't they have it at the top of the show like WWE does and WCW used to? The night after Starrcade or something, you get 90 seconds before the fireworks go off of, I can't believe Savage turned on Sting and this. And, yeah, exactly.
All right. So Ray Fenix and Nick Jackson I watched this in its entirety, okay, even through all the thigh slapping and everything, which was egregious, but this was very weird, okay, because they started off telling the story of Fenix has a hurt back, and they were the psychology that they were doing was very, very good. Fenix was selling like a champ. They were telling the story. He was hitting him with moves that hurt his back and everything, okay. But then all of a sudden,
he wasn't selling anymore.
Psychology stopped, and they just started doing all the luchas, like, spots and everything, and that he wasn't referencing his back again at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, they laid this match out where they should have put the back end first, and the second part of the match, the first part of the match second, and it would have been like a really good psychology match. But it was like, I don't know. Did you when you were watching that, were you thinking the same thing I was?
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching. Go, wow. I'm going. I've never seen Fenix sell this good when I'm watching this because he was like really getting into it and stuff, and then all of a sudden,
and it was all for nothing. Yeah,
all for nothing. They just started to quit selling and like I don't know. But
no, the match was good because I like that style.
I like that style, but the psychology was off. But Lucha doesn't really have, I don't know. It's like, this is weird. If you just want to flip this match,
Lucha does have psychology if you're in a feud, not in a normal match. Yeah,
right. Okay. So on +2, way too many devastating moves they kicked out of here. Like diamond cutters off the top rope, and so they kicked out of everything, and it was definitely overkill, right? So they show. Okay, so again, I guess live. There's a production glitch because they show So I watched this show on Hulu after it aired, right? And they had fixed this in post production on Hulu, and they showed the Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett with Adam Cole over there, and this is just a silly. This is too silly for me, right?
Is this the one where he was moving around the furniture or whatever?
Yeah, moving the furniture.
Yeah, this was stupid.
They're acting like 7-year-old kids. Like these are adult wrestlers in that type of comedy. And I'm like, I don't know who thought this.
What disappointed me is everything they've done so far was so good, including when he was in the hospital with the rosary beads and all the, trying to get sympathy. And this was brutal. Right.
This was not good. Oh boy, they found something new to do with Wardlow next. What did they do with Wardlow this week?
Yeah, they're trying to reset him again, give him another push when they had him hottest, and it's their fault that they have to restart him again. They had him in there with that guy, that Grifferson or whatever. That he's kind of the Jericho broke man's Jericho wannabe, never gonna be. He was already in the ring. Whatever, he was already in the ring, which you already know what that means. And he kind of came off heelish because some fan grabbed his arm and he pulled it away. So they might be turning him heel. The
bottom line is they're doing the exact same thing with Wardlow that they did before. He just goes out and squashes people in 1 minute. 5 power bombs.
And this is the company's error, not his. Right. And the crowd wasn't as happy as I thought they would be. The big pop room, because I think they feel they're gonna. It's kind of like Brian Cage, like they never really do nothing with him. So why are we gonna get behind him?
Yeah, like here we go again.
All right, so can we go backstage? I'm very disappointed in Don Callis. Okay, because this promo he cut backstage was too generic for me.
Right.
Him and Takeshita back there, and he said. And Callis cried foul, saying the medical team wouldn't clear Sammy Guevara for his match, and said Kyle Fletcher will team with Takeshita now. Callis told Jericho and Omega not to be too excited about who wins a battle. He said no one remembers who wins a battle; they only remember who wins a war. I thought he could have been, bro. He needs to be more scathing when he's like when insulting people and stuff. He wasn't, he didn't really. This wasn't really that good of a heel promo. So I was disappointed in this. He's been cutting good promos lately. So then They said that Excalibur had to point out that they had transmission issues, and they replayed the Konnan Strong video. So they played it again. Everybody had to see that,
Right.
Let's do this. I want you to rate. Let's start rating. Give star ratings to the vignettes. Okay. How many stars will you give this vignette?
I don't give stars, dude. It's either good or bad.
I'm doing it for
you
this
give
vignette.
Stars. Go ahead.
Okay. This is a 1 1/4 star vignette. All right.
I thought it was brutal.
Okay, it's a dud? Wow. You give it a dud then, huh, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a big match that I had no idea why these people were wrestling and why. But the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabian are getting a match for the trios titles.
Okay, well, these three guys, they remind me a lot of like Ashanti and Cameron Grimes and this Alexander. I forgot they were even on the roster. Seriously.
Yeah. And Kip's been there since day one, and that you never see him, and every time you see him,
he's show up and wrestle. And it's like there's no character development, nothing. I know nothing about these guys. I know nothing of why they're together.
Well, don't forget, Kip came back.
And Kip Sabian even together,
When Kip came back, he had dyed his hair silver, so that's there you go. That was a big change.
Right.
Well, the three guys have been there for 4 years with zero upward mobility.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is something that they're doing good. All right. even though still a little bit corny, but she's embracing the character and she's doing it very well. They had Toni Storm's Portrait of a Star video series, and RJ City mentioned she's been wrestling for 14 years, and she flipped out and grabbed him by the collar while yelling about how every pay-per-view is a roll of the dice, and she mellowed out and said she is timeless. Then a graphic listed Timeless Toni Storm appeared later in the show. She is doing excellent character development because she's completely changed her character. She's turning like a crazy girl now, which she's doing it very well. What do you think of this, Konnan?
Yeah, I think that's great because remember in WWE, we thought she was a star. They treated her like a J-Bone, like some groupie. Remember, like a rock star groupie or whatever. Right. Then she came here and she was a heel. She did not get over. Then she turned babyface. They really didn't use her right. She's finally found her niche. And if you try hard enough and long enough, sometimes you'll hit your niche. This Timeless character is great. I like how it's in black and white because she's kind of doing like these actresses from the 1920s, like over dramatic and very well done. She's probably the most interesting girl on the roster right now.
Absolutely is because of the way she's going to be on later in the show, and it's I got a good thing I want to talk about. So they showed a video cabbage of Swerve beating Hangman. Oh, so Swerve won that match at Wrestle Dream. Good for him.
Yep.
Paige had new comments to complain about Strickland hitting with Prince Nana's crown, and I'm saying that Swerve doesn't take his spot by doing what he did. So he's kind of I would be a little bit more hot at the guy if that's how I lost. You know, you're a cowboy. It's kind of a little bit too gentlemanly there in the promo, I thought. So they showed a video. They showed a video of the Devil's Mask show closing angle last week, and the broadcast team know that MJF is claiming that the Devil Mask was stolen and wasn't behind the attack on Jay White. So Juice, Colton Gunn, and Austin Gunn come out, and they cut a promo. This was not a good. The promos weren't very good here. I thought they could have done better. They've been better on the mic before. So basically, Robinson told MJF to get his out there, and Max does his typical thing where he's on the stage, he's ripping these guys a new on the mic. Crowd's getting over, but his insults were kind of like a little lame. Then for some, I could not stand this. Okay, so MJF goes down to challenge all three of them, gets in the ring, takes his belt off. 3 heels of one of your top heel factions powder, and then MJF is just standing there like an idiot. And of course, what happens? Jay White comes behind him and puts him down with He gives him his finishing move. That's all he gave him, one finishing move. And MJF just laid there like out like a light for like 2 minutes. So they left. They cut a promo on the stage. Cut a promo in, and then MJF sold like he got hit like somebody threw a piano off the second floor of a building and hit him in the head with it because he was selling huge, and they just cut a promo on him. He challenged him for Full Gear on November 18th. What did you think about making your top babyface look stupid here, Konnan?
Well, hey, MJF has creative control. He could have, unless it was his idea, he could have said no, but he did it because, makes him look like a tough guy, which I think makes you look dumb. Because when have you ever seen one guy say, all right, I'll take on all 3 of you?
No, it's just stupid. It's like,
Right. So, unless you're drunk. But other than that.
Go ahead.
What? Oh, no. I would just.
Because wrestling fans, bro, there's been, hundreds of thousands of hours of wrestling on TV over the past 25 years, right? They've seen this angle so many times, you know exactly what's going to happen. You come out there, you did challenge guys like that's stupid. They powder. It's like, oh well, somebody's going to come out and attack them from behind. It's just like a playbook, I don't know. I was not happy.
The flip to that is there's probably people that are younger fans that have maybe never seen it. So to them, it might be, but I've seen it so much and it just looks dumb. But he did the right thing because I know when I was working with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, one of the things that they always taught me was if you're going to sell somebody's move or you take the 3 count, just lay there, just sell it, So I think by MJF selling it, it puts over Jay White. And I'm kind of interested in seeing what they do together.
Right. So, so backstage, Orange Cassidy and Hook are doing a promo, an interview, and Hook is eating chips, Lay's potato chips, and they just said Hook said Cassie should be facing Phoenix for the AEW Championship next week. Cassie said Moxley was champion for 3 weeks, whereas he was champion for 11 months. Whatever, Cassie said, and then he ate one of Hook's chips.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I get the gimmick, but it's like this gimmick kind of provides a lot of really, nothing gets you excited. It's not getting you excited for anything. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be if Cassidy is cutting a promo, okay, and it's just him and Hook, and they're in their characters and they're slackers, and that's it, and the segment ends. That was boring looking television. whenever they're cutting promos, they should have somebody confront them so they can sell their gimmick like in the face of like a guy challenges. So it looks like a more entertaining segment. Do you agree with that, or am I off here?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, because them just cutting promos with each other. It's just like they look like they're just like two boring people. It's like, I don't know. So Jericho and Omega wrestle Takeshi and Kyle Fletcher. A good finishing sequence here, because Fletcher caught Omega with a kick and tried to scoop him up, but Omega slipped away and he ran into a code breaker and then popped into the One Wing Angel and pinned him. Callas complained on commentary that Fletcher screwed him after he gave him a chance, so Fletcher lost. So after the match, Callas went to the stage and barked at Omega and Jericho. Then Powerhouse Hobbs entered the ring behind them and put them down with clotheslines. Bro, and and then Hobbs gets heat. He got heat on Jericho, who's rolled out. And he got like a lot of heat here on Omega, but it wasn't really, the heat wasn't that great. He was like, this went on for a long time. Hobbs threw him over the guardrail, beat him up, threw him back in the ring. They taped him to the ropes. They duct taped him to the ropes, and then Don Callis hit him with like one chair shot, and basically, Don Callis hit him with a chair, and that was it. Like the heels ended up strong here, but it wasn't really. I didn't think actually. Let me read Pal's POV. A good match followed by a strong beatdown angle. I hope that chair was gimmicked somehow because there's no place for unprotected shots to the head, given everything we've learned about head trauma. I like the addition of Hobbs to the Callis family. I hope this means we've seen the last of his weak Book of Hobbs gimmick. I didn't think this was a strong beatdown angle. I thought it was kind of like it just went too long with not enough violence. What do you think? Am I wrong here?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, and that Book of Hobbs gimmick was JoJo too. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this was weird. Maybe I've missed something. I had no idea what's going on here. So Paquette was interviewing MJF in the trainer's room while Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn stood in the background. Then Bowens and Gunn left, but then Caster came up behind MJF and started rubbing his shoulders.
Well, there was a doctor massaging his shoulders, remember?
There's a doctor massaging his shoulders, and Caster pushed the doctor,
right.
Had the doctor step aside. Right. Then he started rubbing his shoulders. Then MJF flipped out, said Caster leaves weird letters in his bag and sends him strange tweets. He called him a stalker and ordered him to leave. Then Caster called MJF the king while MJF said he'd get a restraining order on him. And after Caster left, MJF said he couldn't do it alone and was calling Adam, and the call went to voicemail. What on earth was going on here? Have I missed something about the Max Caster MJF? Like Caster's hitting on him here, obviously.
Did something happen on Wrestle Dream or whatever? What was it called?
Wrestle Dream, or on Rampage or Collision or something. What am I missing here?
I don't know.
Because this was just weird. I don't know. The MJF is not. I'll be very honest. MJF. I liked him in the Adam Cole stuff, but now it's going off the rails a little bit. Oh, this was good.
It says here. So, long story short, Max Caster has been flirting with him on social media and posting that MJF is his boyfriend. So it's some kind of angle that they were doing online.
Wait. Is Max Caster also gay like Bowens?
I have never heard that.
I don't think he is. I've never heard that either. I thought this Bowens was.
I don't know, but it's like I guess they're going.
I thought what I had heard it was Bowens, Caster, Juventud, and Disco, but I'm not sure. Nothing.
Well, that's very disrespectful.
No. That you guys would make a good team, like you, the manager of them. Not that they're the. Yeah.
So very next, one of the best things on the show was just 1 minute. I think it's a minute 30. Just not too long, but a minute or so promo of Samoa Joe. He's sitting in a chair with a suit, smoking a cigar, and got a shot of bourbon in a glass with him. Said he is focused and ready to be the AEW champion again. And he said he gained respect for MJF, but soon MJF will learn that when he's hungry, he always manages to eat. This is a very good promo for Samoa Joe, and I like the way he was presented here. What do you think about this?
Agree.
Yeah. Sky Blue comes out with her. This is what Jason Powell writes. Sky Blue made her unenthusiastic entrance. And I think that Sky Blue, her entrances are congruent with whether or not she's going over in the match or not. I hope that's not true. But she wrestles Toni Storm, and Toni Storm has got the lipstick smeared on her face and everything, like she's crazy and stuff. And working the gimmick. Like she's bro. This is what I was thinking. The look she's going for. Have you seen these Britney Spears videos, Konnan, where she's acting
with
like
the
really
knives.
weird?
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. I think they're going for that kind of gimmick here with Toni Storm, which is
You know what she reminded me of a little bit? Remember when Chelsea Green was the mess in Impact? She had the wedding dress on and the smeared lipstick, and she was the hair was all
the drunken bride or whatever it was. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So so this is funny. Excalibur hyped the following matches for Rampage Friday. Okay, I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to read them in speed that Excalibur reads. Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Jake Hager, Dana Garcia versus Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Trippert, and Jack Taylor. Chris Statler and Hikura Shida versus Nyla Rose and Marina Sharif. Johnny TV versus Commander versus Lince Dorado versus Penta Ciro Miedo for a shot at the Ring of Honor Championship with Eddie Kingston on commentary. Now, the announcer said that. So then they go backstage to Renee Paquette with Stokely Hathaway, who will announce there'll be a 4-way on Rampage for a shot at the Ring of Honor title. And Eddie Kingston will be on commentary. They should have saved that for him here, right? He said they need a champion who smells like Tom Ford, not Burger King and Newport. That was actually a funny line for him. But but he's on. They announced him as he's on the Ring of Honor board or something. The board of directors, or whatever. Did you like Stokely Hathaway being on the Ring of Honor board of directors, Konnan?
I could care less.
Yeah. So, by the way, Toni Storm beat Sky Blue because she's getting a push here. So I like this. I like Toni Storm's in this gimmick. She's doing very well.
Right, and I like what she hit her in the corner with the hip attack, and then she looked into the camera and threw it to a commercial. I thought that was great.
Right. So Adam Copeland comes out for a promo. This was long, but
bro, they should have never had Edge come out at the beginning of the show with that corny line, "Oh, maple syrup," and just saved them for the end.
Right, exactly. Right, because if you were going to show him at the beginning, there should have been a thread. Like show him again an hour later, and then like okay, show but just show him at the beginning, show him at the very end. It's like this. I don't know. So he's kind of promo. Christian Cage makes his entrance, and he circled Copeland. Copeland said he and Cage have been friends for 40 years. Copeland said New Cage was wondering why he attacked Wayne and Luchasaurus at Wrestle Dream. Copeland was censored when he said Cage's face was pursed up. He looked more like than usual. Copeland said he still loves Cage and that won't change. He said when he saw Cage stand over Sting, the same guys brought Sting's poster to the barber so they could get the same haircut. Copeland spoke about Sting has wrestled and made people feel. That his wife's parents are Polish and didn't speak English, and yet they love Sting. Copeland told Cage that Luchasaurus and Wayne would drop him once they sucked all the knowledge out of his brain. He said Cage is so egotistical he won't see it. I am here because it's time, Copeland said. He said it was time for the two of them to team together and face teams like FTR and the Young Bucks. He said it's time to show the fans that they were one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And Copeland said he was there, had in his hand, and asking Cage to end their careers together as a team so they could show everyone what they could do. And Cage took the mic and looked at the crowd and then at his belt and opened his arms and hugged Copeland. And he told Copeland to go. Cage left the ring while Copeland looked stunned. Cage went to the stage and soaked up the chance to stop the moment he held the mic up to his face. And he said that before he left, he wanted to give Copeland a reminder of what he'll be up against on Tuesday's Dynamite. That Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne walked down the stage and joined Cage while Excalibur hyped the match. Okay, so this is funny to me. It's just like you think Adam Copeland would come back, and he basically just got up there and punked him, and Cage completely punked him. Okay, and then you brought out Nick Wayne at the end, like this ominous force, like Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus.
Who cares?
I don't right.
Yeah.
They should just send it with Cage, Cage doing that line and leave it and turn around and looking at him and staring at him and close the show with the facial expressions. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're trying to push Nick Wayne down our throat. You know, I mean, he's not ready yet, just like they did with Utah, just like they did with Daniel Garcia, just like they've done with so many others.
Yeah.
And also, you know, this is the thing about wrestling, Glenn. We always say the best stories are the ones that write themselves, right? Like when they didn't take advantage of the CM Punk and Bucks thing, right? Which would have been a great story. This story told itself. They didn't even have to set up much. Everybody knew they were best friends. Everybody knew they tagged up in WWE, right? And that's why I think at the beginning it was a waste of time. This is the first time Edge has ever been in AEW, bona fide superstar. And the first time you see him, he's making that joke about the maple. It's like you should have waited just to the end when he came in, and because you'd already shown him once. and it took the novelty off. And I didn't expect Christian. Now, when the camera did a close up on Christian, I said, "Oh, he's going to say something," but I didn't expect him to say that. That was great. Nick Wayne does absolutely nothing for him. He's not credible. He's not nothing. And it almost seems to me the way that Edge kept bringing up Sting, we may see Edge and Sting as like a Legends team against Luchasaurus and Christian, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you notice, along with the yourself, that Christian dropped, so the show was a little profane, that in Toni Storm versus Sky Blue, Toni threw Blue out of the ring and picked her up to put her against the barricade and then slapped her in the a few times? Did you notice that?
No, I did not.
I did.
Of course you did. Pervert. So this show was kind of weird. I wasn't that impressed with Edge's first appearance on here, especially his first appearance was as lame as it was. Where he just comes out in the hey, maple syrup. We're a bunch of Canadians. He get it? Like, come on,
no.
give me a break.
That was
yeah. All right, so that's been our AEW.
But let me just say a couple things. Usually, an AEW, I'm only interested in MJF because he consistently was bringing it. But right now, I'm interested in the MJF Roderick Jay White angle. Right. I'm interested in the Jericho Omega Don Callis and family angle.
Right.
Okay. I'm interested in what's going to happen with Christian and Edge.
Right.
Like I'm interested in Toni Storm, whatever she does. Right.
Me too.
Like I'm interested in a couple of things for once.
I'm interested in the MJF, where they go with MJF and the Roderick Strong stuff. I'm not that interested in the Jericho Kenny Omega stuff because I don't know. I'm just not that interested in it. I'm interested in the Toni Storm stuff because her character work is excellent right now. And bro, Cage is probably the best thing on their show right now. Even better than MJF right now. Just because he's he's just so good. He's just a professional. He knows exactly. I mean, his whole his very subtle facial expressions. Go ahead.
And he does something MJF used to do when he was a heel. As a heel, he still kind of tried to get over with the people. Like he'd bury him, but he always do something to make him laugh, or you know what I'm saying? Right. But Christian does none of that. He's a straight cold heel, like Dominic is.
With a scowl on his face,
right.
Just like
always mad. He's got the turtleneck, which makes him look presumptuous.
Right, yeah. Mean looking facial expression.
All he's missing is the ascot and the pipe.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say that maybe you like you said they are you're pushing Nick Wayne, right? And I think maybe they think because Cage has done good work with Luchasaurus because he's changed the way Luchasaurus works. Right. Like Luchasaurus does not work like a Luchasaurus. He works like a big man now, right? So I think he's probably looking at Nick Wayne and thinking like, okay, I can, I'll give this guy to me.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe that's his job too as a veteran.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in conclusion for AEW, once again, they continue to have the three things I'm very interested in: the random matches and qualifier matches that they have for guys. I could fast forward through those all day long, and I don't think I'd miss a single thing. Would you agree with that, Konnan?
Yeah.
All right, so that's been our AEW review.
Boom.